Hello, everyone, and welcome to ACEDS Live at ILTA On. This is a series of interviews we are doing on LinkedIn Live with leaders in e-discovery and legal technology. Today, we are joined by Robert Hilson, Vice President of Marketing at Logikcull. Robbie, thanks for joining us.
Mike, it is absolutely my pleasure. Thank you for having me here. And nice dance moves. You guys couldn't see this, but when we were off air, Mike was, he had this jig going to the intro music. It was great.
Fantastic. All right, first things first.
Mike.
First things first, Robbie. How you holding up in these unusual times we're in?
Man, no complaints at all. Happy, healthy, family's healthy, have a job. Can't complain about anything. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. It's just me and the wife here at home. We're in the home office. We're hunkered down and trying to stay ahead of the virus.
Good for you, man. The hair's looking fantastic, by the way. I don't, you can't see, but I have kind of the party in the back too.
Yeah. It's been going on 6 months. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, we're working on it. Although some people in my house are starting to get annoyed.
Same here. Yep.
Fun fact: not everyone knows this, but you used to work here at ACEDS. Tell us a fond memory of your time at ACEDS.
I did. I have lots of fond memories. I was actually thinking back. I want to say I was there for about 5 years. But when you sent these questions in advance, it sent me down memory lane. And I say that I think the stuff that sticks out to me is just like being able to work with people like you, like Helen Morey, who we were just talking about, Bill Sparrows, Al Lindsay, like a lot of great people who just have tons of experience and knowledge in this particular space. I had no experience in e-discovery prior to joining ACEDS. And so just kind of being able to spend time with you guys, talk with you guys, work on the certification with you all. It was a real crash course. And I think it's set me up really well for my time at Logikcull. I think, one of the things that I'm really proud of, and I'll give you kind of a short story by, to kind of illustrate this, but I was actually, and we'll talk about this in a few minutes, but I was going through LinkedIn yesterday, going through my network and trying to find people to reach out to for this conference that Logikcull is about to host. And man, like, you see said, like it's great to see the exposure that the certification is getting with people who are just really respected in this field. So to me, that's really rewarding.
Yeah, no, it's pretty impressive. We're up about 11% this year so far. We've got a total of 1,470, I think, said certified professionals now. So
I think that's awesome. And I was also thinking too, like, so I think there's a parallel between the missions of ACEDS and Logikcull. You guys are approaching kind of the de-risking and the de-risking of e-discovery, making discovery more affordable through training and certification. We're doing it through software. And again, I think that's kind of an interesting kind of through line to at least my career. And I think it's cool for those for those parallels to kind of present themselves.
Yeah, no, and look, we love being a partner of yours too. I think there's definite alignment between what ACEDS does educationally first and foremost, and then the certification itself. But yeah, so there's that. All right, let's get into it a little bit. So the Logikcull platform has been around for a while. It's suitable for any segment, but where would you say is Logikcull's strong suit? What segment are you strongest in?
So that's a tough question to answer. To your point, and this is the beauty of a native cloud platform. Like, we're able to work with solo plaintiff firms. We're able to work with literally the largest organization in the entire world. We work with the city of New York. We work with the Department of Defense. And so it's tough to say kind of which is strongest. I'd say with regard to kind of the innovation that we're seeing within our own product and within the e-discovery space at large, I think a lot of that is coming from corporate legal teams. But when I think about the customers that I'm most proud to work with, and kind of getting back to who's the strongest, we work with, just by way of an example, like we work with this firm Langfit Gardner, who is representing NCAA players in concussion lawsuits, against the NCAA. We work with the Gruhl firm up in Michigan, who is representing U.S. women's Olympic gymnasts, again, in their cases against Dr. Larry Nassar. So we work with a company called, or an organization called Uncommon Law, who is working to get people who have been wrongfully given life sentences, working with them to get out of prison, and readjust them into society. Like, those are the organizations that I'm really proud to work with. They're the ones who are really pursuing our mission of democratizing discovery. Like, that's the stuff that really excites me.
That's awesome. That's good stuff. And I love the pro bono charitable stuff too. It's really important that more people have access to the tools of e-discovery to really advance the cause of justice, so to speak. That's great. So any particular trends you're seeing on the corporate legal side? You mentioned being a lot on the corporate side, but any particular trends you're seeing on the corporate legal side?
Yeah, and I'll ask you the same question, but some things that we're seeing. Obviously, there's been a trend going back, 5-10 years at this point, where these larger organizations are looking to bring more and more of this work in-house. Taking back some of it from law firms and vendors in some instances. I think with COVID, we're certainly seeing an acceleration of that trend. You definitely have, these C-level mandates to cut costs, to tighten your belts. And so that's certainly a trend that we see. And again, it is only accelerating through COVID. I think one of the benefits to bringing some of this work in-house, and this is what our corporate customers tell us, is that A, obviously there's a cost reduction component to it. B, there's, you have more control over your data. You're not sharing it with a bunch of different entities. And you have just kind of more visibility over the process as well. On the other hand, I think a lot of these organizations who would, in theory, like to bring this work in-house are kind of are grappling with some of the kind of bandwidth issues that COVID and other kind of economic challenges have presented. So that's what I'm seeing right now. What are you seeing?
Yeah, no, I would echo those comments. In fact, I wrote about it a little earlier this week. I wrote in Above the Law about, how more work has obviously been moving in-house, and how that there's a need to adapt to that. And even, in the employment market, I think that, firms are moving away from the, not all firms, but, some firms are deeply entrenched, but I think that some firms are going to move away from the litigation support models and, the heavy level of staffing in that regard. And so I'm sort of predicting that there will be better opportunities either in the software and services side or the vendor side, as we like to say. But yeah, that's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm hearing around the industry.
I think that's right. And I guess the other thing that I'd say is that on the law firm side, I think the firms that are doing this stuff really well and really efficiently, like, their services will continue to be in demand. A couple that come to mind on our side, Baker and Donaldson, Vincent and Elkins, massive, highly functioning, very efficient litigation support departments. They are empowering their people to work with their clients to do this stuff more affordably, more quickly, and more securely. And we certainly salute them as well.
Yeah, no, I think that's right. I think the big firms that have it down pat will continue to do that, so long as they can do it efficiently and frankly make some money at it. That's the bottom line.
Yep.
All right, let's move on a little bit. What's new and different? Anything changing in the platform? Anything changed recently that the audience would want to hear about?
Yeah, and I don't want to tip our hand too much. I would say that anybody who is interested in hearing the answers to those questions, come out to our users conference. It's October 8th and 9th. It is completely free. We'll talk about this in a second. Day one's going to be kind of more of the CLE type of framework, where we have experts who are sharing how they are getting results to some of the challenges, Mike, that we're talking about here today. And then on day two, we're going to have a lot of these big product reveals, a lot of stuff that we're really excited about. Our engineering team has been cranking over the last 6 months, and I hope this is not too much of a non-answer for you, but you'll have to wait and see, because there's some.
That's fine. But let's get into the conference a little bit. Tell us about the conference. Tell us who should come and what they're going to see when they get there?
So I would say that everybody should come if you're interested. It is open to all. And again, it's going to be completely free for the next few days here. But it's going to be October 8th and October 9th, 4 hours each day. The first day is kind of primarily geared for in-house practitioners. We have 16 speakers who, again, are the people who are getting results and kind of reacting positively to some of the challenges that we're talking about related to reducing the cost of outside counsel, better securing your data, doing more with less, dealing with these mandates from higher up to cut budget, and streamlining internal workflows. That's the kind of stuff that we're going to be talking about in day one. It's going to be kind of engaging workshop style sessions. We're not a talking heads type of organization, so we're going to steer clear of that. And then on day two, it's going to be all product focused, product workshops, product reveals, and a lot of networking among our customers as well. So again, it's free to everybody. If you're interested, feel free to reach out to me or go to logikcull.com/inhouse and we'll hook you up with a registration.
Awesome. That's great. I always love to see, events like that where you can really just go in and get some inside information. That's fantastic. All right, ready? Tell us something you are concerned about, Robbie, that others are just not worrying about.
So I was racking my brain yesterday for an answer to this question. I feel like everybody is concerned about everything right now, and rightfully so. So I honestly couldn't think about anything. Personally, I'm in the middle of a move right now. We're actually moving to Atlanta, Georgia from San Francisco. And so I'm thinking about how all of my furniture is going to get there intact. But that is like, it couldn't be, given everything that's going on with social injustices and weather and like COVID, like could not be any less important. So you give me an answer to that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm worried about everything, and it's just I thought it was a smart question. That's why I've been asking it all.
Have you got any answers? Have you gotten any good answers?
Yeah, I mean some industry specific answers that are sort of built around what's coming down the pike in privacy and security and the sort of information governance stuff that everybody's struggling with, but that's fine. All right, let's shift gear. Let's try to have a little bit of fun. We do this thing, we call it 4 of this or that, where we're going to ask you to identify your preference for one of two things. Rapid fire, not a lot of thought. These shouldn't come as a great surprise to you, but here's number 1. Is technology assisted review more AI or machine learning?
Is technology... I don't even know how to answer that. I guess it's more machine learning.
That's a good answer.
Okay.
I like that answer. But, there's the other school of thought that, machine learning is really just a subset of AI, and there's that whole argument. But that's fine. I just thought, again, I thought it was a smart question, and we'd cause a little controversy with it. But all right, ready? Here's the big controversy. Ready? Hyphen or no hyphen in the word e-discovery?
There's definitely no hyphen. I've changed my opinion about that over the years. If you ask my colleague Casey, he'd probably have a different opinion. But yeah, I'll say no hyphen for the time being.
Yeah, folks have been all over the map on that one. It's a personal preference.
I would say you get rid of the E and the dash entirely. It's discovery.
We had that answer as well. So
yeah, we're 25 years into this thing.
That's right. All right, ready? It's Thirsty Thursday somewhere in the world. What's your preference? Red wine or white wine?
IPA.
Really?
Oh yeah.
A beer drinker, not a wine drinker.
If I have to pick between the two, I'd say I like a really nice Merlot. But yeah, I'm a beer guy.
And what are you pairing that beer with? Since we're talking beer, what's
a cheeseburger?
Nice.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with a cheeseburger. All right, ready?
After my wife, who's a vegetarian.
I don't know how you manage that. Good luck. Okay, ready? The penultimate question. Ready? Robbie, Beatles or Stones, man?
So I had a weak moment during quarantine where I was listening to a lot of the Stones, and I was thinking, man, this is the greatest band of all time. But I think that's wrong. I think the Beatles are not only the greatest band of all time, they're the greatest to do anything, period. So that would be my answer. And if anybody wants to talk Beatles, Stones, feel free to reach out to me. I'd talk about this stuff all day.
He's got the catalog.
What's your answer?
I'm a Beatles guy too, just for the harmonies and stuff, because I do have a bit of a music education. So, the harmonies and stuff. But there are times where I go, I mean, the Stones are more sort of R&B-ish, blues-ish, right? Yeah. So I can go down that road too. The true answer for me is I like them both, but
I think that's the right answer. There's no wrong answer here.
That's right. All right, last question. Give us a good book you read recently.
Oh, so I was actually ready for this. Do you know this tome called Lonesome Dove?
I know the name of it. I don't know the tome itself.
Okay, so I'm only 200 pages in. It's like 1,000 pages, but it's like one of the last great American novels about the Great West. I think it won the '85 Pulitzer, written by this guy Larry McMurtry, who's also written a bunch of great crime novels. But I highly recommend it. It's about these two old guys who are making their last cattle drive across the United States, and it's fantastic. It's just it's a great read.
All right, that's cool.
What are you reading before we go? I know we're over time, but what are you reading?
The last thing I read was Preet Bharara's Doing Justice, which was about his removal from the U.S. Attorney's Office and his opinions on how a prosecutor should properly do justice. So it was I was at a conference. They gave it away. He signed it. I took a picture with him. I figured the least I could do is read it.
Oh yeah, good for you. That's awesome.
Yeah. All right, there you have it. Thank you, Robbie, so much for joining us today, for sharing your insights. And thank you, everyone, for joining us on LinkedIn. Please visit Logikcull.com to learn more about Logikcull's vision for the e-discovery industry. And please check us out on ACEDS.org for more about ACEDS. You can visit our virtual booth, chat with us, or join our Zoom room on the ILTA On Solutions Center. Have a great day, everyone, and be kind to each other.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Deja. See ya.